some really tight matches here.
Yeah, definitely. I also I forgot to do this in the interview post stuff because I was too pumped. But I got the Tremaine zip 3 times in a row, and that was the first time that's ever happened. But I just want to shout out to Tremaine, who can't be with us in the tournament anymore due to personal circumstance. But thank you so much, Tremaine, for all the work you've done on this game. We really appreciate it, and we hope you get well soon.
Yeah, definitely. So best wishes to Tremaine out there, wherever you're at, man. Good stuff on how far you made it. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to finish. Oh, is he taking an early death here? Oh no, that's going to hurt him.
Yeah, hard selection pulling off quite a bit here. So the personal best difference for these players is about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Hard selection having a personal best of 19:01, so it's very close to that luxurious sub 19. And IZZIE Man recently PBing by 10 seconds, so he now has 20:29, I think. But in overall consistency, I'd say consistency favors hard selection. I'd say this is actually a losers round 4 match, and the victor of this match would face off against Tremaine. But as I mentioned previously, he can no longer participate. So that losers round 5 will only have Crazy 8-Boy versus Mr. MKL, which will happen sometime this week. And after that, the winner of this round will face the winner of Crazy 8-Boy and Mr. MKL. And the winner of that match will face Andy in the losers finals.
Yeah. We're winding down this tournament pretty well. And hard selection going to make it out of metal.
Barely hitting the 2-minute mark there.
Yeah, not a bad time, I wouldn't say. Probably want to aim for about 155 or so, but you know. And, is he taking another death? Didn't have quite enough to do the glitch setup there.
Yeah, he could have if he had jumped into the metal blade, and but he missed it. So the thing about Metal Man is when he's doing his cardio, and okay, so he does get kind of a glitch. So the thing is, while that's the glitch setup right there, and if you're under him after he jumps down when shooting the metal blades, he jumps to the right, and there's no space for him to jump to the right, so he gets clipped into the wall. And when you move back to the left, he'll clip into the other wall, and it basically becomes this shooting fish in a barrel free boss battle. It saves about 1 or 1.5 seconds, so yeah.
You know, I know that's the popular opinion, but I don't know, man. If I don't get the glitch set up, I can pretty much do the fight in the same amount of time. But that's just me or my comparisons. I mean, perhaps some people would save that 1 second you're speaking of, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. But it is an easy fight if you do get the glitch set up, and it looks cool. So why not go for it?
Yeah, I definitely say it's one of the coolest tricks in the game next to the hard knuckle zips. So much like the NES Mega Man 2, this game has the metal blade, and it's just as potent as it is on the NES. And making short work of Woodman on hard selection screen here, right there. Most bosses fall in, there are 3 types of bosses in this game: easy, normal, and hard. And the majority of these bosses are pretty easy, I'd say. The easiest being Airman, followed by, I think, Topman and Hardman. And, and IZZIE taking a game over.
IZZIE a little short on the slide there. Yeah, that's going to cost him even more time. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so he's now full stage behind. And in a moment on hard selection screen, you'll see why... if he gets a drop, because there's a small RNG component to this game. It's not very big, but there are 3 or 4 points, maybe a couple of bosses that have some RNG, but this isn't a really heavy RNG game, and that's what I like about this game. It's far more about optimizing execution than getting the ideal RNG. Even the zips, you can get a really killer time. I think me and Andy both got pretty decent sub 19 times without ever getting the first Topman zip.
Nice. Yeah. Well, That's what's up. I mean, I'm kind of jealous. Not gonna lie about it. I can barely get sub 20, and that's using Super Game Boy. So, which if you guys don't know, Super Game Boy runs a tad bit faster than all the other and the original Game Boy player for GameCube or anything like that. Super Game Boy 2 doesn't, but here in the States, most of us got Super Game Boy 1, like myself, and yeah, that's they dock you 30 seconds for using that.
Yeah, because the Super Game Boy 1 is 2.4% faster than the other more accurate modes of play. And same goes for certain emulators like Visual Boy Advance. Runs slightly too fast, so it's banned. But there are other good emulators that actually run very close to the original run speed. And I think both the Game Boy player and the Super Game Boy 2 run the closest to the original Game Boy without with the least amount of input delay, because the regular Game Boy player has a ton of input delay. At least it feels like a ton of input delay to me.
Yeah, old HARDselection just got the quick kill on Airman. IZZIE's gonna finish
Nice.
up Woodman there. Yeah, HARDselection making his way up this crash climb here. IZZIE, on the other hand, gonna be working through this wood section or air section that
With the Goblin head.
Yeah, you got to take those boosts backwards, deboost, so that way you don't lose that much spacing, and you lose less time.
Yeah, and HARDselection going for one of those safety energy tanks. Like, ideally you can beat the game with one energy tank, but it would make Needleman's stage a lot harder. I still use like 2 E-tanks because I can't go die hard mode on that stage without that second E-tank.
And I'd say probably save the die hard for the PB. Here in the race setting, you're definitely gonna want to get 2.
Yeah, I think only Andy got 1 energy tank in a race, but that's because he's so comfortable with getting 1 energy tank, like he has the rest of it so down. So there's no appeal for him getting that second energy tank. But for the rest of us plebs, we got that. We gotta have that extra energy tank.
Yeah, some people gotta stick away from the super pro strats and just go with the safety strats, you know.
Yeah, especially in a race. So here we get to see the Airman, and like, well, HARDselection is finishing up Clashman, which is arguably the hardest boss. IZZIE finishes the Airman, which is the easiest boss, because he only needs 3 hits, and you can just basically shoot the first shield that will connect twice and slide into him, and that's it.
Yeah, he actually jumped to make sure that that second leaf shield hit, which is a mistake that I made. Which yesterday I didn't jump, and yeah, I ended up dying to Airman. I say yesterday, it probably was a couple days ago. It wasn't yesterday, but yeah, my last race.
What even is time? But yeah. So Clashman's a really fun stage. I think it's a fairly easy stage, but still some opportunities to die, like sliding off rush and falling into a pit. Like that can happen.
That bad dog, that is probably one of the more common bad dogs, if you'd ask me, over that one pit right there that IZZIE will make his way to here shortly. And yeah, that's a costly death too.
Yeah, so bad dog is what we call when you jump onto Rush as he's spawning. So like as Rush's animation to form ends, and you jump on him at the exact frame or 2 frames that he does that, you will basically, Rush won't register Mega Man standing on top of him, and he'll act like a platform, so you'll slide off. Which isn't too bad for most of the time, for most of the places, but there are a couple of spots where it's very undesirable.
Yeah, since we talked about it, IZZIE actually got to make it across the pit without getting bad dogs. So that's good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we see HARDselection jumping on top of Rush consecutively to save some weapon energy, because he's now in the second set of Robot Masters, the ones from Mega Man 3 for the NES, and weapon energy doesn't get refilled after the boss fights here. So. Especially Metal Blade, Hard Knuckle, and Rush Jet are things you want to conserve.
Yeah, you know, instead of walking, I like that. Hard selection went ahead and just damaged this with the big Springer there, the G Springer.
And IZZIE taking a more classic approach to Clashman, getting it done. And meanwhile, Hard Selection finishes up Magnum Man. So there are two interesting mechanics, because this is a third-party Mega Man game. There are some stuff that's very different than any other Mega Man, and the main differences are the ladder climbing and the sliding. If you slide into an enemy, the knockback animation will be cancelled if you do it correctly, or at least the timer for your knockback will go down as long as you're in the slide animation. The other thing is, ladders are kind of weird. You can only push up or down, not up and left, not up and right, only up to go up a ladder. And much like the slide, you can basically take a hit and keep climbing. So why am I mentioning this is because in every other Mega Man game, if you get hit on a ladder, you fall off. If you get hit during a slide, you enter the knockback animation instantly. Ooh, and Hard Selection getting that magnet strat on that 8. Nice.
Yeah, good stuff. That's a newer strat. I think Indy came up with it.
Yep.
And it'll probably save you a second or two not to take that knockback there.
Yeah, and of course not using Rush Coil saves an additional 0.7 seconds, I think.
Cool. Yeah. Rush Coil, even though it seems to speed you up a bit, you still have to wait for Rush to spawn, and at certain times you'll still get hit by the enemies there. And yeah, magnet strats, you have to be precise on the hard man kill, or you'll have to end up switching to Buster, which will cost you a few seconds. But Hard Selection gets the kill.
A very, very clean fight from Hard Selection. Like, if Hardman doesn't jump, that's the ideal. Like, even if the timing of the shots isn't optimal, it doesn't matter. As long as Hardman doesn't get his feet off the ground, you're good.
Yeah, for sure. And yep, switching to Rush Marine here. Gonna go across this water chasm.
After yesterday, I love Rush Marine.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
So now we're gonna see, hopefully. Oh, and Hard Selection just misses the first hard knuckle screen wrap or zip in the stage, which is frame perfect. So zips from freefall are frame perfect, but zips from ladders like this one are not. So the setup for the ladder zips is fairly easy, but those from freefall are not. And what you just saw is that, like, it's in some places it actually places you a whole screen downward, but in other places it just places you lower on the screen or higher on the screen that you were, depending on where you zip. So most zips are downward, but there's one in Needleman which will be coming up shortly, which is an up zip. And it has a nice little extra effect that it gives you, when done correctly, an additional downward zip at the end of the large horizontal corridor.
And this should be a one cycle from Hard Selection, making it through Top Man.
Very nice.
3 down, 1 to go, and then Quint and Wily.
Yeah, this is only a 9-stage game. I don't count Quint as an additional stage. It's just the token bad guy addition for this game. Like most other Mega Man Game Boy games, there's a whole new character inserted into the game, and usually they're pretty cool, like Anchor, Punk, or Ballad. But Quint's just Mega Man from the future, without a buster and a pogo stick. So yeah.
Hey, that's pretty cool to me.
Well, his shades are surely cool. That's for sure.
No, yeah, I've seen a couple of fan games, or I'd say a couple, at least one fan game with Quint in it, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that looked pretty fun.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, Quint in this game, not a challenge.
Yeah, he doesn't get what he deserves. Like, but luckily there are some people that appreciate Quint and made him into a playable character in a ROM hack, so that I appreciate that. Oh, this
Not
is
quite
the LP
there
zip.
yet, though. Yeah, we're on the zip.
This is my favorite zip because I discovered it, and it gives you this large weapon energy container on top of that screen where Hard's at right now, and this eliminates quite a bit of RNG and smooths out the rest of the zips in the final stage. Gives you better opportunities than you would if you would have to rely on weapon drops. And the dance-off begins between Needle and Hard, and he gets it. Nice.
Yes, sir. And that top spin.
Ooh, and IZZIE getting the first zip, but missing the second ladder zip. No shame in that. I've definitely missed that second one a bunch of times too. This is why I usually opt for the Tremaine zip, because I'm more consistent at it than that second ladder thing. Though I'm not completely sure if it's faster, but it also saves one extra hard knuckle weapon energy, and that on itself is worth something to me. So the Tremaine zip is what happens when you do a downward zip and you get clipped into the floor and do the tiniest jump possible. So it's smaller than a pixel. You have to actually stay in the ground but still jump. And then you get an extra screen transition downward. In a lot of places, it gets you sent back to the start of the stage and it's not desirable at all, but in Top Man, it's actually useful.
Speaking of Top Man, IZZIE gonna go ahead and wrap up his fight with a one cycle. Good stuff.
Yeah, now we have
making his way to the time travel Wily one.
I think it's called the time skimmer. This base. I think I read something like that in the manual. The stage emphasizes. Oh, and he gets the first Wily zip. That's awesome, nice. And the leather zip. So is he going for the swagger or the backup? Oh, and he gets the swagger zip. Nice. That's the thing of beauty right there, folks. And I don't even know. Oh yeah. So the time traveling time stuff is emphasized here. And with the clocks from the Salvador Dali artwork and stuff. I think it's pretty cool. As a kid, I always really liked this stage.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's not a bad stage.
And those crushers will always be scary. Like, they do so much damage. Like you get them at the start of Metal Man, and then you never see them again, and boom, here they are in the final stage, coming back to haunt you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, HARDselection not caring about the damage though. He's gonna go in low damage to Wily.
Making good time too.
Yeah, really good time. We'll see how his fight goes. It shouldn't be much of a problem for him, as long as he utilizes some of those E-tanks he has, which...
Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that was a nice fight from HARDselection right there.
Which, yeah, I think he's been putting in a bunch of practice for this, so... Seems like smooth sailing.
Ooh, and IZZIE Man just barely missing the kill on Needleman there. For top spin to connect, you have to be 1 pixel or 2 pixel distance from Needleman, so contact damage is almost always... It's almost inevitable. It is, but it's very stupid. And HARDselection trying to get in some double hits in the final phase of Dr. Wily. And GG's!
Yeah, GG's.
That looked like 1902 or 1903. That's really close. That's only 1 or 2 seconds from its PB. So GG, HARDselection.
Oh man, HARDselection. Moving his way up the leaderboard and winning this race here. Yeah, 1902 is what I saw as well. In the SRL, that's a personal race best with a 1904, improving by 17 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of race PBs in this tournament. That's so awesome to see. it's pretty big game. Alright, and is he now making his way to the final Wily stage? I really like the art for this game.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very charming game. I like it. When ordered me a copy from Japan just to have the game.
Yeah, so there are some advantages to playing on the European version in this game. There's one tile difference in Top Man, which allows you to slide under an enemy which you would otherwise have to take a damage from. And the horns on the goblin heads of Airman stage appear slower. But I've seen in the 2-assisted speedrun that there might actually be a slight advantage to the horns coming up faster, but I'd have to, you know, truly put in some time to see if it's worth it. It's probably not worth it, but it looks really cool. I really recommend if you like 2-assisted movies. The Mega Man 2 Gamer one is very interesting. There's some really nice stuff going on there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, mostly European versions used at a higher level in this game, just because I'd say more just because of the Top Man slide.
Yeah.
Saving that little jump, that little damage boost you have to take from the second helmet head guy that rides the bulldozer.
Yeah. Yeah, the bulldozer guy. So the room Izzy is in now is also slightly different. There's an extra in the Japanese and American version. There's an extra platform with another squirm on top, but it adds 0. Like it adds nothing, so it's not really worth mentioning. But I thought I'd mention it anyway.
Yeah, nothing to the speedrun though.
Oh, and Izzy cutting it too close. With 2 energy tanks left.
Yeah, you gotta spin those E-tanks if if you're about to come close to death.
And now with no more rush jet, this is going to be perilous. So it's cool that this game is kind of like a trendsetter, or it was ahead of its time in that it has 3 final bosses. And Izzy deciding to use the energy tank. Very wise decision right there. Kinda hope. You don't have to actually finish all the life bars, so as you can see in Dr. Wily's life bar, you don't have to, like, he doesn't have 3 full life bars, but he has 3 phases. And it's something I think we didn't see until Mega Man X1, which was the first game that also had a 3-phase final boss, I think. I think the Wily designs are pretty cool. They're an ostrich, a go-kart, and now this T-Rex. And they all have 2 attacks. So it's really pretty simple, but also really fun to optimize. And GG's to Izzy Man with a time of 23:41.
Right, the official SRL time is 23:46. GG's to both. Congrats to HARDselection for winning the first race, but it's not over yet. Got game 2 coming up shortly.
Yeah, I had to, adjusting some volume and stuff. So yeah, this was pretty.
I said no, you're fine.
Okay, cool. So this was a pretty sick performance from HARDselection right there, coming in so close to his personal best. That's insane. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys are saving that minute, man. I'm jealous. I want that extra minute. like I said, I'm struggling to get sub 20s in this game, and you guys are just throwing out 19s like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's all practice. Like the amount of time I've put in this game in the last 3 months that this tournament has been going, I think like it's part practice and grinding out the stages and learning, like really getting that how do you call it? Like that the memory in your hands. I don't know what the word for it is. But once your hands get used to everything and you start
Muscle
optimizing
memory.
things. Yeah, muscle memory, that's it. Hands memory, muscle memory. And yeah, that's you basically just rolling the dice. Like you try to do everything optimized, and then hopefully you get the frame perfect stuff, like most of it in a run, and then you're good to go. So I don't know if are you still playing this game, or are you done now that you've finished with the tournament?
Oh well, no. I'm done. I'm gonna more be focused on the randomizer tournament that's coming up, or I say it's coming up. My match for the randomizer tournament starts tonight. It's actually the first match of the tournament. It's me versus Bob Dead Builder at 11:30 my time, which is 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, which would actually be tomorrow morning if you want to get technical. But it's tonight for me at 11:30 p.m. So
you kind of switched focus to that.
I'm focused on that, but I mean, like I said, I still have the goal that I want to get that legit sub 20 without using Super Game Boy. So which, yeah, like
do you?
Like eventually, I guess I'll get maybe a Super Game Boy 2 or maybe a Game Boy player and a GameCube or something like that. But for now, I'm stuck on either Super Game Boy or emulator. And the deal with my emulator is the controller is like kind of like bad, I guess. So like I get stuck on ladders just hitting up and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, so like if you're if anyone wants to, like this like more PSA is if you wanna speedrun Game Boy games, like for regular Game Boy games, the Super Game Boy 2 is what I would recommend, because it has no input delay, and it just you have better options, I think, and the controller, the face buttons of the Super Nintendo controller are better. But if you want to go with the Game Boy player, it's also a really good choice. But I really recommend investing in a GameCube memory card, which has an SD card slot, and buying an action replay, so you can use the Game Boy interface, because this basically fixes the emulation speed of the Game Boy player, and it allows and it doesn't have the amount of input delay that the Game Boy player has. So this is very important for like Game Boy Advance games. If you want to run those, please take the time. It's if you're playing on a regular Game Boy player, it's like you play the lottery every time you input a button. Like, it's very hard to get used to the input delay, in my experience. And we're off to race 2. This time seeing a nice bit of sync here in Metal Man stage.
Yeah, we'll hope for some better RNG for both runners. HARDselection made it through no problems last time. IZZIE ran into a little bit of trouble, so
now it seems both players are having quite a... Ooh, and we have some nice exit mole corridor sync going on. HARDselection. Ooh, and HARDselection taking a death on the metal.
That's probably
what a twist.
That's probably the worst place you want to take a death. It's about 2 screens before the checkpoint screen.
Yeah.
2 screens before the checkpoint screen. So I mean, that's not a good place to take a death, unfortunately. So now HARDselection is going to be playing catch up all race. IZZIE out in the lead this time. Yeah,
this is a very interesting turn of events. So we'll see if IZZIE manages to preserve his lead. And HARDselection do get another life drop. We've seen a lot of life drops. This is why I often call it the Mega Man NES, Mega Man 5 of the NES brother, because compared to most other Mega Man games, the life drop rate for Mega Man 5 on the NES is absurd. I've once gotten 35 one-up drops in a single playthrough. And in this game, in one of the first games of the tournament by Sprinting Legs, she actually got more than max lives in a single run. So I think she got 9 or 8 lives in a run. Oh, and is he taking a death at Metal Man? Whoa. And the twist is back on. And hard selection getting that Andy setup. Hardman doing some nice cardio there. Remember kids, cardio's good. Still very close though. So something I always found kinda annoying about after you beat this boss is that the tractor belt is still in effect. So walking to the middle of the stage, which you're forced to do, actually goes a little slower than everywhere else because you're walking on the
conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt.
Right.
Yeah. So I really like Woodman stage. It has some really interesting techniques. Like if you want to go fast in that first corridor, you got to space out your metal blades just right. And then you have to get hit back by that flamethrower of the hot dog. Do damage boost through him without taking damage. And then here, nobody uses Rush Marine anymore because it loses you a good 3 seconds. And compared to optimal top wood, which can be quite scary at times because there's definitely some potential for dying there.
Yep, and making it to the top chicken section before the music drop to.
Yeah, those poor chicken. Like in the NES version, you can't kill them so easily with Metal Blade, and here they're just free. Like you can just waltz right through them. Oh, and hard selection getting you really nice kill on Woodman there. Almost the fastest way possible there.
Yeah, if you can jump at the beginning and catch a few shots while he's got the leaf shield on, then that's always good because you mostly kill him before he jumps and shoots the shield, which is the quickest kill. For me, I just slide into him and shoot inside his shield, which he still ends up doing the jump and kill him during the jump animation. But it is possible to kill him before that, which is what you want to do in the speedrun. Ooh, nice little double jump there to avoid the first damage boost. Probably goes a little bit faster as well.
Yeah, so like what you're describing as the Woodman strategy is like that's the classic. I like to call that the classic strategy because I used to do that for the longest time until I saw like, and there's another life drop, of course. This is Mega Man 5, of course. But yeah, like that's what I considered the fastest strategy before I saw Andy pulling out the Metal Blade a little earlier. And the thing about Woodman is you have to hit him between the leaves, and because the leaves are rotating, I found it quite hard to do consistently. But Andy, if you've seen some of his Woodman battles, he really gets it.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't get that consistently, you actually end up wasting time because your metal blades tank off, and at that point, I mean, if you don't just slide in and like metal blade him out, you'll be wasting time if you miss. So that's another reason why I just go for the other strat. It's like maybe a second slower, but
it's guaranteed. I guess.
Guaranteed, yes.
Yeah, so what I do, because I can't get 4 hits on a row before he throws the shields, I try to get 2 hits and then take damage from his shield and do the last 2 hits inside him, because it's slightly better than just sliding into him, but it's not as good as, so it's kind of a medium strat, but at least I can do that semi-consistently. And yeah.
Both players getting the quick kill on air. You have wood out, you need 2 shots, you shoot him once, That'll do a double shot if you shoot him automatically, and then the second shot will kill him.
Ooh, and HARDselection having a little bit of a struggle climbing that ladder, but this is a pretty close race, a lot closer than the previous race, I'd say. They're only about 5 or 6 screens apart. Some nice mountains in the background here. I'm always really impressed by the people who made it in that time. Like, use so minimal amount of colors. Like, I think the game only has 4 different colors, and to create such a variety of landscapes and art and ideas, and make it look fun and interesting enough to like, yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I was using this pretty wild color palette early on in the tournament. I toned it down a little bit for the last race and just used like blue, but yeah, there's some pretty awesome things you can do with the Game Boy Color palette.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance has like, I think, 12 color options or 13, and the Super Game Boy has even more. You can actually customize your color palette to a great extent, and there are I think 48 or 56 preset color palettes, and you can even set the tones darker or lighter. And I use like a really whacked out lime green and yellow and red and black color palette, but that color palette has actually helped me get PB, so I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, your color palette's kind of crazy as well, but hey, if it works, it works. I like it.
And,
I like the colors, but they kind of bleed together a little bit.
Yeah, they kind of hurt your brain, but I kind of like it.
Oh yeah, indeed. Like my yeah, I've got like this mint green and orange going on, so
nice. So yeah, HARDselection getting a really good fight from Clashman there, and IZZIE Man using again a more traditional approach. This is very similar to how I used to do Buster only on NES Clashman. So you basically just walk, jump, shoot, walk under him, turn around, and repeat the process. And this is a fairly it's definitely not a bad approach, but it's speed-wise it isn't optimal.
yeah, shooting these little magnet blades, mag flies, sorry, with metal blades, probably saves you about a second. What I hear from more top runners.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I'm just doing it like this is I kind of trust like Andy has. I think he's measured the most of the strats. I think me and Ape Boy came up with some other new strats, and we measured those as well. But other than that, yeah, like most strats are pretty apparent. But like the rush coil thing in Hardman stage, that was not so apparent to me because of the optical illusion that jumping higher makes it faster, even though you still have to wait for rush to come down. And of course the added menu time.
Right, yeah. Yeah, nobody wants that.
So Magnet Man is actually one of the most fun boss battles in the game, because you can script, like this can be a scripted fight and you can do this right all the time, but it's very precise still. So and HARDselection getting it, does he get, he almost got the perfect fight. This is only like half a second slower than perfect. Like you want to get him before he jumps up, like before he even lands still, but that was a spot on magnet battle. Nice.
Man, I'm just happy to get him before he gets to the top of his second little rotation there.
Yeah, it's like you gotta save state practice it on emulator. Like just watch what Andy or I do in that battle and just save state the heck out of it, and just I'm pretty sure you can get that, and it would save you like 2 or 3 seconds, I think, maybe less. I don't know. It's still this. And is he taking a death against Magnet?
Yeah, that's unfortunate for IZZIE. He's gonna fall a little bit further behind.
Yeah, this is now this is kind of become HARDselection's race to lose.
yeah, if you know, just gotta. If hard selection makes any mistakes, then IZZIE will be back in it. But for now, the IZZIE or excuse me, hard selection's got a pretty good lead.
Yeah, almost even. Well, it's a little more than half a stage, I think. Maybe a full stage lead. I don't know. But Hardman and Hardman stage are actually the easiest in the entire game, I'd say, because aside from a few optimizations trick, you can take all the damage you want and still come out on top. Come out on top as you're killing. Oh, never mind. Anyways.
Yeah, hard selection fighting against the boss he's named after.
He likes to go hard. And he kills him, but he does not get the optimal kill. Still pretty nice though. He doesn't like it's not a big deal not getting the optimal Hardman kill, because like the optimal boss kills save only like 1 or 2 seconds over the optimal boss kills. So I think that's really nice for people that want to get into speedrunning. Like if you think this game looks fun or you like certain aspects about this game, this is a great place to start your speedrunning career, because this game is easy. Like even like some of the tricks aren't, but the general playthrough is fairly easy. I say this might be the easiest Mega Man game to speedrun. Ooh, and a little too quick on the draw again. Looks like a lot of people won't be getting that first top zip.
Yeah, that one's really tricky to nail.
Yeah, that's the thing with frame perfect. Oh, and he does get the second letter zip. Nice. That's the thing with frame perfect tricks. Like you can't really build your run on them. So you just want to go as hard as you can, and just pray that you get them. And they're about 1, 2. I think there are 4 or 5 frame perfects in this game. So getting them all in a single run is pretty crazy. I think the world record has 4 out of 5. I think Andy just missed the last hard knuckle zip in the swagger zip in Dr. Wily stage, costing him that 18.0x time.
Yeah, I'm sure one day it'll be 5 out of. Be pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, there's still some pretty dangerous and experimental strats out there, so it's but yeah, if anyone, like, there's a really crazy zip in Dr. Wily stage where you stream transition on the very first fall down, but you have to do a tremaine zip through spikes, and if you're too slow you die. But that would be the ideal place to get the 1 energy tank you would need for Dr. Wily.
Yeah,
and there's some other even crazier ideas.
I saw some clips that you were experimenting with, which is pretty crazy, because I was actually doing the same thing before my last race. I was trying to find new zips. One of the zips I found, but I found that I always die there, so I was like, well, there's nothing I can do with this. And I saw the video that you posted with the fact that you were using the same zip that I was trying to find, and yeah, pretty neat though.
Nice. Yeah. So I actually rewatched the tool-assisted version to see what I could possibly do to gain some slight advantage against Andy. So, but like the new Wily zip is actually a result. Like the Tremaine or Will C, I don't know, they work together on that tool-assisted. So they actually came up with the idea. It's not my original idea, but to like I can get it about 3 times out of 20 times. So it's not viable. Not going to be viable for the longest time. But it's just a thing of like this game still has a lot of potential. This game has a lot of potential, and I think sub 18 is not unthinkable. It would be crazy, it would be insane, but it's not unthinkable. I think sub 18 will one day happen. And I can't wait for it personally.
Yeah, somebody sub 18 will be a thing, but for now we're what times are we sitting at? 18:02 1807? Is that the world record? What's the world record?
1812.
1812. Okay, we're not quite to the 18-0 mark yet.
Yeah, I think Andy's sum of best segments is 1804. So, and I've seen some of Andy's best segments, and it's absolutely insane. His menuing, his overall control of the game is beyond compare. Like, I'm in second place, and my personal best is 1843.98. So, like, just barely under the 1844, and Andy has a 1812. So, yeah.
Yeah, some of those new zips are gonna need to probably bring it down a little bit. So here we go, back in the time capsule.
Hard selection using rush call to get past these spikes. Oh, and he misses the first, and he gets the backup. Nice, nice. And is he going for the swagger zip again? Ooh, he's just a little too late.
Won't. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, and he's also low on energy. Oh, but he has another one. Does he?
I think he does.
Oh,
well, maybe not. He better.
He doesn't.
No.
So he has. So now you get to see the long way around, which is the intentional way of playing this stage. And aside from the stuttering at the ladder to figure it out, this costs about anywhere to 15 to 20 seconds. I think it was 15 seconds. I think, I don't know, but it's pretty fast.
That sounds about right.
I get to see some nice Rush Marine action. God, I love Rush Marine. I wish you could use Rush Marine everywhere. Just play the game as Rush Marine.
Yeah. Yeah, Rush Marine is your friend.
Yeah, after yesterday, he's my best friend. Oh, and I recently saw that you can jump out of the water with Rush Marine in Mega Man 3 on the NES.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on anymore. What is life? It was such a crazy find. I've been playing that game since I was like 8 or 9, so that's like 22 years or something, and I did not know that. And that's so cool. That's something I really love about games, is that you think you know everything, you think you know a lot about a game, and boom, surprises. All the time.
Yeah, we'll see if IZZIE gets his zip. While hard selection is going after Wily. He's done with the first phase. IZZIE does get his zip.
And chooses to wait for the Yoku blocks to appear. Yoku blocks being slightly different from the other Mega Man in the sense that you can jump through them. And they're on global timers that don't exactly align, so the platforms can mix and match a little bit.
Yep, hopping on the Sakugarn to take out the second phase, and now we've got Dino Wily.
Dino Wily. Yeah, and hard selection trying to get in those double hits. So the thing about double hits is you want to space out your hits as far as you can. So you want to shoot the... Oh, and GG's! That was a time of 2012 by hard selection. Congratulations!
Yes, sir. The official time for the race is 2015 on SRL. Good stuff. The hard selection is gonna take this match. Unfortunately for IZZIE, is gonna be what is that? This is a loser's bracket match, right? So
yeah. So IZZIE is out of the tournament as of now.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was winner's bracket, but like winner's semis, but I think that had already happened. Because you guys are all in grand finals now, or winners finals, at least. Or that was winners finals yesterday between you and Indy, right?
Yeah, that was semifinals of the winner bracket. So I'm just seeing if hard selection is up for a interview.
Alright. Yeah, is he just finishing up here, sliding under the missile? He's got to avoid the I'm not sure what those guys are called. That the dino tosses out. Little skull heads.
And GG's to IZZIE.
Yep, he's got a official SRL time of 21:57. Actually improving his personal best race time by 13 seconds. So congratulations to IZZIE. GG's to both runners.
Let's see if they want an interview. I've trying to get hard selection in.
Yeah, let's definitely try to get these guys in here to see how they feel about the race. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to bring up the brackets, so that way I can straighten it out for you guys. I say straighten it out, just so I can relay information correctly.
Relay that information for me, boy.
Yes, sir. Let me pull it up here. Here we go. So yeah, Indy versus Elpis was it says semifinals. Yeah, so finals. Okay, so it's a little different from what I was thinking. So semifinals, finals is Elpis versus TK30. Ugh, no.
TK3-1, but
Yes.
Elpis is just fine.
Yes, you're in the finals or grand final. Indy's in losers bracket waiting. Hard selection and IZZIE should be hopping in. Did they hop in now?
Hey guys, hard selection here.
Yo, hard selection, GG's, congratulations, man.
Thank you kindly. Yeah, feel good about it. The first run was feel really good about the first run, so can't really complain.
You can't really complain. That was like 1 or 2 seconds away from your PB. I was enjoying it so much. That was a very, very nice race, man.
Yeah, if I had that good medal stage, that would have been it. That would have been the sub 19.
Yeah, and you got a little. Both of you had some trouble at the start of the second race. IZZIE dying at Metalman himself, while you died on a very unfortunate spot because the metal put you back at least 20 or 30 seconds.
I know.
Like, it was a horrible place to die.
Yeah, right before the checkpoint, so I had to go all the way back. Yeah, that was a real bummer. That was like a 40-second loss right from the start. So yeah, that was rough. That was definitely rough. But yeah, so tried to push through the pain on that and just kind of focus on having a smooth rest of the match. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to Wiley too. I thought I had enough ammo for the last Wiley zip, and apparently I didn't. I tried it like 3 times and I was like, all right, I guess I'm going around.
Yeah,
So it's like this game has some weirdness with like how much ammo and life you have. Like even though you have 2 bars, sometimes you have
that
fractional amounts.
Yeah, you have that sub energy. Like sometimes this game won't round out the weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
2.5 hard knuckle, so you think you have 2 hard knuckle, but you actually have 3, so you can actually use the hard knuckle. So I saw you like trying it several times and then just realized, I don't have enough. Okay, well, better go the long route.
Yeah, I was like trying to. I'm like, am I just doing it wrong, or am I like legit out of ammo? So I did it like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, all right, I guess I should just go around at this point. We give up.
And it's some very nice Wiley 1 fights. Very, very, very clean. Very clean Wiley 1 fights.
Oh yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I've been focusing on that. I've usually, historically he's been killing me a lot, so I kind of grinded that for a while just to make it a little smoother. And trying to get that clutch air shot during his jump there really makes a big difference, I'd say.
Yeah, it really does. Like it just preventing him from jumping a second time is such a big deal. And not getting hit by the first jump of Wiley's roll-up thing is also, especially when you were kind of low health. And the second time, I think you had only 3 bars. And if Wiley had touched you with his body, oh man, my poor heart.
I know, right? Well, that's why I feel like I try not to use my E-tank, through needle for that very reason. But unfortunately, I took a lot of damage getting the needle man, so I was like, well. Don't have much of a choice now. I gotta hope that he doesn't step on me. But luckily, we pulled it off.
Yeah, very, very nice general execution. Some nice zips. Nobody got the top zip again, so that's kind of cursed right now.
I know, right? What's going on with that? I'm pretty pumped. I got all 3 Wiley zips in the first run. That was pretty awesome. So can't complain about that.
Yeah, that was on fire. That was, yeah, crazy, man. Very nice.
I think in my first run too, even though I missed the top zip, I still saved some time. Like I was still green on my splits. I don't know what I did. I have to like look back at my stage because unless I didn't get the zip in my PB, but I thought I did. So I don't know. Something happened during that top stage in the first round. I don't know. Something magical. Had some serious potential. Ah, man.
All right. Do we want? Let's see if we can get. But so how do you feel about the general? Like, are you content with this?
Yeah, definitely. I think if I'm going to be competitive for the, to get out of the loser bracket and reach the finals, there's definitely a lot that needs to be done still. I think I'm going to have to be getting. I mean, just based on watching your race, Elpis against Indy yesterday, it's basically, it's got to be a consistent low 19, probably sub 19 in races to make it to the finals. It seems like so. It's definitely a tall order, given that I've never once gotten a sub 19. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's gonna be hard, but that's what we're here for.
Yeah, and your name is HARDselection, so I'm very confident that you can get that sub 19. Like both you and Ape Boy are great contenders for the fourth sub 19.
I know, we're both right above it.
Yeah, and like Charlie was saying before this interview, like we have some like Ape Boy versus MKL, and you have to face against the winner of that match. And I think whoever wins between them, and that will be a really close race. But also you versus either Ape Boy or MKL will be an insane race. And like if that's not enough, you have to face Andy at the end of the loser bracket, and
I know, right?
That's just brutal.
Woo!
Like, and yeah.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be kind of awesome because, Mr. MKL, we went up against in the normal bracket. I knocked him out. Crazy Ape Boy knocked me out. So either way, like a rematch. Super hyped for either of those rematches. So it's going to be exciting. I think at the end of this loser bracket for sure.
Yeah, this tournament kind of dropped some pace after I think the first set of messages, but like John has been putting in some extra work to really wrap up the tournament before the end of August.
Yeah, for sure.
So I really appreciate that. And now we have some, especially since we have the craziest matches of the tournament are all gonna happen right now. So
you gotta remember SGDQ happened in the middle of the tournament too.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
and the World
about
Cup.
A week and a half off.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a big cause for the delay and kind of lag time there.
But yeah, definitely getting this top 8 situated and wrapped up. We've got our 7th places now set, and myself and IZZIE, and now 5th places are going to be set. Tremaine, unfortunately, not going to be able to continue in the tournament, so he's going to be placing 5th alongside of the loser of Crazy Ape Boy and Mr. KL, who will go on to fight you, HARDselection, and then the winner of that to fight Indy, and then the winner of that to take on Elpis in the finals. So excited to see how it all folds out.
Absolutely.
I think like this entire tournament went really different than most of us expected it to go. I think Chrissy made a video talking about who would win which match, and I think he had some good calls right there. And I think I got most of the things right, but nobody saw Tremaine dropping out. Like there was not and a lot of people, I think 3 or 4 people dropped out of the tournament, and
yeah, it's been quite a wild ride.
Yeah, it's like the craziest stuff has happened, and I really want to express my gratitude to Speed Gaming, Fiesel, Cyclone, John Carls for hosting this tournament, because not only did I manage to like get better at this game I love, I also got to meet all you amazing people, and it's been crazy fun. Like it's been so much fun. I really enjoy the social aspect of this as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, totally agreed. Yeah, I think it's been so much more than I was anticipating. Signing up and getting to meet everybody and just having this camaraderie around this game and just learning a lot about what it means to be a speedrunner, and the community's been awesome. So big shout out to John Carls and Speed Gaming for letting this all happen for sure.
Definitely.
And I would
Yes.
highly encourage anyone to enter tournaments if you have any interest, because it's great.
Yeah, it's good way to start get starting to get so it's a good place to start because you have all this social interaction, so you get exposed to a lot of different strategies, because even though you might be a creative person and start to think up with really weird strats which may give an advantage, it's always nice to see other people play the same game, so you can really take the smallest gains from their their difference in thinking, and add that to your, and like as a whole you can grow as a whole. I think that's the most beautiful thing about speedrunning games and speedrunning tournaments, is that you don't just grow alone, you all grow together, and I think that's pretty special.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you're just kind of grinding a category, and you're like the only active runner, it's a little more tedious. But when you're all doing it together too, there's definitely something special about that.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I mean, what else can you say? Great races to both you guys. IZZIE, unfortunately, is not going to join us for interview. Anything else you guys want to add to the conversation before we wrap things up?
No, I think that covers it for me. Thanks again, guys, for commentating. It's a pleasure as always.
Yeah, that's basically it. Thank you, HARDselection, for the great race. Thank you, Charlie Boy, for doing commentary with me. It was a lot of fun again. I already thanked Speed Gaming, and this is gonna sound generic, but if you like what you see, follow the Speed Gaming channels and the runners. I sure do.
Yeah, definitely follow the runners, follow the commentators. Come back later tonight. I don't know which Speed Gaming channel it's gonna be on, but we'll have Mega Man 2 randomizer race later tonight with myself versus Bob Dead Builder.
Oh, nice.
So y'all make sure to tune into that. And
Absolutely.
And yeah, GG's to everybody. Thanks for having us, Speed Gaming, and if there's nothing else, I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this stream, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Later, guys.